guys. It is 7 o'clock and it's Wednesday, and I'm excited that I get to be here and talk to everybody. I got so much shockingness today, shocking news, shocking episodes, shocking secrets being spilled. Let's get into it. Hey, Miss Sanchez, Donna,
Hey, Bubbles.
Hey, Bubbles.
hello to everybody over there in YouTube. Louisa holding it down at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Bless her heart.
Miss Queen Libra, Vicky, Can. Hey girl, what you doing over there? We are here, y'all. Today, I had stuff that I really enjoyed, and then there was stuff I was like, I'm tired of seeing this. I don't want to see this no more. You're taking away from the stuff that I want to really see. I don't want to see Steffi talking to her mama no more about how she should.
Yeah,
No,
We are all
yeah,
over it.
yeah.
We are
We
I'm
all
all
so
over
over
it.
it.
I don't want to see that no more. I don't even know that I want to talk about it because I'm so over. Even the point of him showing up in Aspen at the end today, bullet
Mm-mm.
for you. You then bounced out on everybody in your life. Don't nobody know where Ridge is. Brooke that made these damn plans for dinner. How you know? And he knows she made plans for dinner. He still got on the plane and flew to Aspen. Unless he is fixing to be sitting here begging back Taylor until the day after Valentine's Day, I don't care about it. What I do care about
Mhm.
these secrets over here that Liam spilling to Big Mama Brooke and
Woo.
I
how all these
cannot believe
looks
that.
that Hope has been giving Thomas lately, they make sense now, y'all.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
They
What
really
we
do.
got
Liam
today,
Spencer is not capable of shocking me, but he shocked me today.
we got
He
some
shouldn't have
tea
threw under
today.
the hope under the bus like that either. He wrong for just spilling all her business to her mama of all people.
But what that was is that was what I would consider. You remember when Sean Kanan had that bowl live and he said that they sometimes do post taping
Yeah.
and they
Mm-hmm.
can have it on screen in a couple of weeks. And that's usually when
Mm-hmm.
they go back to add something or change something from before.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
This is reeking of post scripting to me because what we got today was a declaration of what's actually been happening off screen, and that is
Yeah.
Hope and Thomas even sleeping under the same roof with Beth and Douglas.
Oh my goodness,
That
child.
was
We
just
got
like
that. We got
With
that
Beth.
information.
With Beth.
Raunchy
with Beth.
With Beth. That
with little baby Benjamin Beth.
That
Th-
means that Hope is getting off of work at the end of the day, walking down to her car in the employee parking garage where her name is on the sign, reserved for Hope Logan. And she beeps her car open with her key fob, and she gets in the car and she drives all the way to Holmby Hills to kiss Liam on the cheek, scoop up Beth in an overnight bag so that she can get back in her car and drive all the way back to Los Angeles so that she can spend
Scandalous.
with Douglas and Thomas. That's all I heard today.
Scandalous. That girl is
exactly.
scandalous,
I,
girl.
you know
Oh.
what's hilarious about this is that remember last night I had a question
Mm.
about all of this insecurity that's been going on,
Yes, with
and
Liam,
that
you did.
and I didn't understand it. Well, guess what? I sure understand it. I understand it today.
It's crystal clear today because
It's crystal
everybody was
clear.
wondering about why is Liam always acting crazy. He can go too. Well, I guess he can't go with Hope spending the night because Beth
Mm.
is
Exactly.
sleeping in the bed with her.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the implications and even Brooke said, "What? Hope never told me that." Him saying this was just so revealing, not just about what's going on with Lope, but what is going on with Hope herself. This is
Yes.
a girl that will go woman. She's a woman now. This is a woman whose mother stage managed her losing her virginity to the man she's married to now. But Hope ain't told Brooke about this.
Yeah, baby.
And
The
That
Now listen.
scandal of it all.
you
Now
know what
listen.
else I find shocking is that Donna has not told Brooke either. So does Donna not
Yeah.
know that Hope is staying overnight, or is Hope staying at the last minute because well it's late, I don't feel like driving, and she's
It's
staying
the last.
and then she get up in the morning before everybody else gets up to take
And
Beth
go
back
get
home.
correct. That's
Yes.
what it seemed
Is
like to
she
me.
creeping?
If she gets home, if she
That's
gets
what
She
home,
might be
Lord, that's what it
creeping.
pretty
sounds
much,
like.
She
Girl,
might
what
pretty
be
much.
creeping,
So
darling.
listen, guys. We have been
Liam a
hearing a
snitch.
lot of Hope Logan. We have not been hearing anything about Hope Logan Spencer or Hope Spencer, have we? It's all Hope Logan. It appears to me that there is going to be a divide between Hope and Liam. This to me appears to be a breakaway of Hope and cutting the purse strings, so to speak. It's sort of like a rebellion. And Thomas is how she's going to rebel against her mom and Liam micromanaging her life.
Hmm.
and that's how
It sounds like it.
having her put in the loony bin
Yeah.
because Hope, you're only acting this way because of Thomas's influence. We have got to get you and Douglas out of that house.
Hope know exactly
Uh,
what she doing, and she been putting her foot down lately. I mean, she's been all grown up. We've been amazed at how she's been standing up for herself and Thomas. But for me, it was standing up for herself for me. So not only do I learn that she's not, just taking little baby Beth to see her big brother, she's been spending nights, but she's been doing all of this before the CPS call, y'all.
Yeah,
Before the CPS call, y'all. So Hope been there. So, they can't get ready to say, well, Thomas tricked you, and now he done put a wool over your eyes, so now she's been going over there to stay because she's rebelling. No, 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 no. This has been going on, y'all. What does it all
yes,
mean?
it has.
What does it
A
all
lot.
mean,
It
darling?
means
Yeah.
that's the thing. It means here's the thing. The thing is, you can't make something out of nothing. Not really. Like the fact of the matter is, one of the reasons that Thope as a potential pairing never really caught me up was because they never let Hope play like she had a reaction or feelings for Thomas. And that's a complete turn off. You can't ship no couple to me or tell me that or get me to be interested even in a pairing where it's a one-sided unreciprocated attraction where either the woman
Mm-hmm.
or the man is totally into the other one and the other person is just looking at them like, oh, it's you again. And for a
Mm-hmm.
lot, that's how a lot of soap had gone when Thomas was actively scheming on how to get Hope.
Yes.
But apparently they made a conscious decision to change that. You don't just have Hope, trying to. This has gone far beyond just doing the right thing for Douglas, okay? She has progressed to the point of not just trying to do right by Douglas so that he can spend time with his dad. She's now making it a point to give Thomas. Remember how Can and several other people said that Hope lied to Douglas all that time ago when she
Mm-hmm.
said we will be a family,
uh,
Yep, she
and that
did.
it didn't, and that it never worked out like that because Hope's family is the family that she's built with Liam, and that doesn't include Thomas. Well, why is it that suddenly she seems like she's trying to give him exactly that?
she done built a second family with Thomas. She got a second
Yeah.
home. She has a legitimate second home. Hope has just built herself a parachute, a safety net, because I think she
Girl.
feels in her bones somewhere that she's about ready to be damn tired of Liam and she need a place where she can get away. Now, also remember that I told y'all a while ago too that at some point it would be Hope chasing Thomas and Thomas not really being interested. Like he's still sitting around and thinking about her and stuff because well, she living in the house now. He ain't got no choice. Now it makes sense why he be sitting and daydreaming about her because she is in his face more than she's at home with her husband. They work
Yeah.
together all day on there. She said our
Our.
Thomas has a line now, you guys. So Thomas and Hope's line, they work together all day on their line. She goes home long enough to have dinner with Liam if she having dinner with Liam, because
If that's what I was gonna say, if
and have dinner with Douglas. So she go home long enough to pick up Beth in the bag, kiss Liam on the cheek, pat him on the head, and book it back to the Foresters' mansion. She is chasing Thomas and she don't even know it. They not even showing it to us, but Hope is chasing Thomas.
Uh, this
I
feel like,
want
bro.
Sam
You know
to
how they
give us
got.
that.
You
I
know how they
want
have
Sam to
system.
give us that on screen today with Hope. Sam, give it to us, girl. Go tear into it because Hope. We had a little bit of flirting today from Hope. We
Yeah.
had a little bit of clumsiness today from Hope, and we had some giggles today from Hope with Thomas said.
Ma'am, yes indeed. We didn't go from sister wives to brother husbands.
Come on, Sam.
So, what Hope was doing today, and listen, we have all commented that Hope has become Team Thomas.
Yeah.
We had all confirmed, oh, okay, look, ever since she left that house crying that Douglas wanted to stay, she has not pushed the subject about getting Douglas back in that cabin.
No.
So, even after that, she was defending Thomas to Hope and Brooke, to Brooke and Liam. Now,
Mm-hmm.
today, after she defended him to them, not only did she go to the office to let him know, I got your back. You don't have
Yeah.
to be afraid to talk to me about it because I would have your back because you would have mine.
Mine.
What
What
we
you
found
say?
out is that Hope already trusts Thomas.
Mm-hmm. But she
Thomas told her, and what she remembered from that conversation is that Thomas told her that he was a one woman man. Hope
Because
is
she was
finding
daydreaming
herself
about that, wasn't she? One day.
is finding herself
Hmm.
attracted to Thomas in that look when she left the office today. Remember when she opened the door, she walked out, but she paused and she looked a little bit longer at Thomas. I think she was questioning herself, like, what am I feeling? I think she
Hmm.
was realizing that she is feeling something for Thomas now.
yes, honey.
Mm-hmm.
She got a little bubbling in her no place.
She do.
It's that
Yeah.
butterfly. Y'all know we all done
That's
had that feeling,
exactly
that little
what
butterfly feeling when you see that one. This was back when you was younger when you got butterflies. I don't get for butterflies these days.
mm-hmm.
But she felt something, and I believe she was confused by it. Now that's going to
Hmm.
be the allure. See, Thomas is this triangle makes sense. Hope being the good girl, trying to be pure because her mama was a hoe, being
Hmm.
attracted to an outright bad boy, but married to
Hmm.
a good boy that her mama approves of and handpicked. This
Hmm.
is the perfect. Didn't they mention Romeo and Juliet recently?
Yes, honey, they were
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
to each other. I said, "Oh, this is what we fixing to do." The Montagues and the Capulets.
This is the shit we were supposed to get when Thomas got recast in 2019.
Correct.
Hmm. Hmm.
Speak on it.
This is exactly what we were supposed to get. But they were so bogged down in trying to push this steam versus lope crap that instead of them taking a look at allowing Hope to legitimately develop feelings for Thomas and be torn, they just went back to the old basic shit that didn't work. So what we're
Yeah.
seeing now is like it's like they put the story on pause for 3 years and finally decided to explore what it would look like if Hope actually had feelings or some sort of attraction to Thomas. Because yes, that whole mess with them in that sketch pad when she was pointing to what she would change
Where to put
on
the
it,
split?
where to
Mm-hmm.
put the
Yeah.
split,
Put the
and
split. Yeah.
they fingers touched, man,
Mm-hmm.
the electricity. Oh girl
Just
Yeah.
like
felt
guess what?
electricity.
Just like carriage.
Car Ridge, that's right. It same
Hmm.
thing happened with Caroline and Ridge. You right, Sam.
D, y'all.
You
And
right.
remember what we talked about last night. This
Oh,
is finally the dynamic we were supposed to have. Thomas and
yes.
Hope being drawn to each other through their work, through design, they're creatives. That's what
Hmm.
draws them together. That's what used to draw Ridge and Brooke together. But then she stopped working. But
Yeah.
this is
Yes.
perfect. They families hate each other. They get along. They
Mm.
raising a kid together. They work well together. And
Mm-hmm.
she's got this underlying want or desire to explore Thomas, knowing it's the bad thing to do, and her actually fighting the bad girl, the deacon side of her, in the Brooke and the slut in her, into this Puritan that she thought she had to be.
Yeah.
She made that decision to be opposite of her mom.
She
Yes, she
did.
did.
That's right.
Yep. And said it with her own mouth. I ain't trying to be like you, and I ain't gonna be like you, and I don't care what it takes. But
Yeah.
Right.
I'm fixing to be like you.
And the part, oh, and the
Exactly.
part that was the most telling was after
Hmm.
when Hope went to go leave, and she stopped at that door and looked at Thomas when he had his back to her working on that sketch. I was like, "Girl, what is you doing? You
But
is
what did it
gifted.
for me,
You is
darling, is
gifted."
when she got, what was it, she got a phone call or something, or either she was moving in the opposite direction of Thomas, and she started tripping and stumbling a little bit,
Yep.
and giggled a little bit like, oh, you know how you get that around a good looking man, and she was blushing again. And I was
Hmm.
like, it's Hope blushing, she giggling, she flirting, but she's stumbling, and I'm like, what the heck? What
Look, it's
that
one of
was
two things. There's only two options, Sanchez, at this point. Either Hope has authentically developed feelings for
yeah.
Thomas that she has not been able to admit to herself, or she been tipping back the bottle and she half drunk all the time and we just don't know it.
So,
But
but
She
that's
yeah,
what the whole purpose.
too.
But that's the whole purpose of Liam making that statement today. See, the whole purpose of that statement being made is to tell us that, okay, we know we haven't been showing you, but we need to now tell you that Thomas and Hope has become very close, right? So,
Yep.
Hmm.
yes, what we saw today confirms what they are telling us also. They started showing us yesterday. Remember when we said, yes, she looking at him like a snack because he don't waste that coffee on him, right? It
yeah,
was
Hmm.
a season. But today it was crystal clear with the little bubbling of the music when they touched hands and the way
yes.
she was behaving, not Thomas. Thomas
It
was
was
acting
her
very sad.
behavior. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes,
So
Thomas was
coupled
not
with the
on her or
dialogue,
anything like that.
right? Coupled with the dialogue and that scene, it is established today that Hope has feelings for Thomas. She hasn't told anybody, but remember, Thomas is the port in the storm. Now we will begin to see that relationship on screen.
I'm getting ready to be Team Hope. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all can go ahead on and get
I'm
mad with
already
me.
team Hope.
I
Tom,
mean,
I'm already
Thomas
team
Hope
Thomas and
that
Hope.
moved into she's staying at the big house. I mean, I'm Team Hope. Come on, she at
I'm
the
not
farm.
team Hope. I'll never be team Hope, but I am definitely team Thope, team Thomas and Hope right now. You know why? Because it's gonna bring misery and hellfire down on Liam and Brooke at the
Yes, it
same
exactly.
time.
will.
Can I just
So
tell you that this is like somebody took karma and baked it into a three-tier cake just for us
I
as
love
Liam.
it.
Because here's the thing, I done had to watch since 2011, circa 2012, as Liam sat here and played with these women's feelings,
Yeah.
all in the name of love. And and because it was entertaining for a while, it took me a while to realize just how goddamn insulting a lot of what went down really was at the end of the day. But now, Liam, Mr. I got my choice and I got my pick. Mr. I always have option one and there's always option two. Is now about to find out what happens when your ass is option two
Yes.
instead of just the only option on the table. Oh, 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 oh,
Ah,
and
oh.
and and he's going to slip and fall yet again into another vagina. And this time it cannot be blamed on
on Steffi.
correct.
It's
Now,
gonna be all Brooke. Cause
And
he
the
gonna
thing is,
fall in it. You see, I got Ken Can to realize today. I say Ken Can
See?
because she was like talking about all the time Liam is spending over there on the couch. She can do without seeing him over there. She can fast forward all of that just to get to Brim. But like I told her, look, this is what he was doing with Steffi, y'all. I mean,
yeah,
he yeah, you know,
confidences.
yeah,
Yep.
Mhm.
Steffi
He always
was
had the
Liam's
answer.
confidant, best
Yep.
friend. She was his psychiatrist,
Yep.
all of
Counselor.
that up until that old dirty one night stand, and Finn put his foot down and we haven't seen him since. But this is the same behavior. So we know what Liam intentions are. We know what it's gonna lead up to.
Because he is ruled by his weak ego. Liam
Yeah,
Yes,
is not a man. A man is Thomas. Thomas does listen. If it turns out in 6 months or a year that everything has changed because Thomas made that call, you think I'm gonna be mad at Thomas? Hell to the no. You
hell
know why?
no.
Because Thomas is a man, and once he makes his mind up, he makes the damn move. Let me tell you something. As a woman, I would feel comfort in knowing in the fact that the man that I had did everything in his power to get me. And now that he has me, I know that he's not going to do anything to lose me. I don't know about y'all, but that's the kind of man I want. I want the kind of man that's
yes.
going to do a little extra shit for me.
And the thing is, though, is that here's the thing. If Thomas, how do I put this? One of the big differences between this and what played out with Thope previously, aside from the fact that Hope is now being written to actually reciprocate those. The thing with Hope is this is all subconscious, okay? Because I will say the same thing, with the exception of what happened with Hot. I will say the same thing about Hope that I would normally say about Steffi. Once their focus is on the man, their focus is on the man, and that's usually it. They don't bounce between men. The one exception that when that ever happened with Hope was when they had Wyatt and her and Liam. But outside of that, Hope has never really been somebody to be torn between men. That's just not her thing. She's always
Well,
Hmm.
she
been
was
a
torn between Wyatt for a long time and very torn. I
She
don't
yes,
know if
she
I
was.
was.
wouldn't say that was
She
her thing.
was.
That was her thing actually for a couple of years.
Right.
Before
So
she left to go to Milan. That was her living and breathing thing. Steffi was out the picture, and she chose to have those two fighting over her because she wanted to punish Liam for loving Steffi.
She
mhm,
did.
she did.
So I
Somebody
won't
put,
say
I
so.
think that was Hannon put up that flashback when KM said y'all fighting over me. She was like, I think I like it.
And
Yes,
she never
indeed.
stopped liking it. She never stopped
And
liking it
Hmm.
until she
one
lost that baby. Until she lost
and
that
one
baby.
one of the big differences is that the thing is Thomas is not, even though Brooke and Liam are spinning all these tales in the living room. By the way, it is so much more convenient for him to walk up to the shed to Brooke's living room than it is to than it was when he had to drive out to Malibu to get somebody to have a shoulder to goddamn cry on.
Yeah,
Is
and
that
take his side.
exactly. She
Hmm.
basically, he is not doing anything overt. He's not creating any scenarios. He's not being uncomfortably close to her or trying to be in her personal space or anything weird like that. Because I'll be blunt, one of the reasons I used to hate the characterizations of Thope was because they used to do such weird shit with Thomas that it made me as a viewer uncomfortable. And I'd be like,
Yeah.
bruh, back it up. You all in this girl's space. She backing up from you. She giving off no vibes all over the place, and you just ain't seeing them. This is not working. This is not cute. This is not
Yeah.
romantic. This is not, it's sexual tension bubbling under the surface. This just look like you don't know boundaries.
Yeah.
So that's,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not what this is now. You have all of these little touches of a building attraction because Thomas admits to himself that he feels something for Hope, that he still loves her. But he's already come to the point where he's accepted that that's not going to happen. Hope's made her choice. While we have is co-parenting and getting along with, like, like a camaraderie relationship, and if that's all I got, I can get with her, then that's all I'm gonna settle for, and I'm not gonna do nothing to jeopardize that. Hope, on the other hand, because that's the thing that I'm looking forward to the most on this. Hope is going to have to make the first move
Yeah,
because of how
because
all of
he's
this shit
not
has
gonna
played
do
out
it. Thomas
previously.
is not gonna do it.
No, he's not. He is not going to he's not going to do it because he realizes how much they, especially after that conversation today, he realized how much he has gained in his relationship with Hope. She actually trusts him. She's not second guessing him with Douglas. And then professionally, she has complete confidence in him, in his work, in the line. It's not her line that he's working on, it's our line. It's theirs. Hope is
Yeah,
actually sitting up there referring to the Hope for the Future line as something that belongs to her and Thomas of her own
that's
free will.
right. That's
That's
right.
that's a big deal. So he is seeing all this fantastic progress. Hope talk to him telling her, "I'll see you later this evening," and she's like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to it." All this, girl, I'm like, what? Thomas is loving having this kind of reciprocity with Hope, and he is not going to risk it by trying to, kiss her when it feels like they're in a moment or anything like that. Nope. Hope Logan is going to be the one to have to make the first move. But before any of that happens, what I want more than anything else is I want, at least in the immediate future, and I don't know if we're gonna get it before Brooke goes running her ass off to Aspen. I want Hope to end up talking to her mama, and I want Brooke to mention what Liam told her, so she know Liam dimed her ass out to her mom.
Mm-hmm. And she gonna get up. What's gonna happen is when she finds out all this time they spending together and how he diming her ass out, she's gonna be staying more and more at the Forester Mansion. I mean, at some point I'm looking for her to even move in, is because the more Brooke and Liam conspire, I feel like they're gonna start doing shit to sabotage Thomas, and eventually Hope is not just gonna be spending a night here and there, she's going to be living at the Forester Mansion. I mean that, but also I want to go back to that conversation they were having, darling, when they were
Mhm.
talking about Douglas being a teenager soon.
Yes, I wonder if that. I mean, and of course, I know everyone's seen the news that we getting Henry back.
Y'all,
Well, I don't like that. I don't like it
I
because
I
Henry coming back to
I
to
don't
drop a dime
know.
on somebody. Well, y'all know Henry. You know,
Mention Douglas back.
Bumpers, little Henry Douglas, he coming back to sell somebody out straight up. Come on.
Mention Douglas is returning. He's like his Aunt Phoebe.
No,
Snitching all day and night.
Douglas,
Douglas coming to throw somebody to sell somebody out. I'm telling you, somebody finna get told on.
yep, it's over for you girls. Cause Mention Douglas has returned. Whoever made the phone call,
Yeah,
Douglas
Mm,
tell it, even if it was himself. But you
yeah.
know what? Now that he's returning, and y'all, we acting surprised, but they told us this was a temporary recast. But then we went sideways when we saw Henry was in Canada. But so
yeah.
they told us, we just didn't believe them. But listen,
Yeah.
now that Henry's back, I am on board with Douglas being the one because that Douglas would do something like that. This Douglas, the way that Django appears to me as Douglas, as he's an older kid who wouldn't be fucking around with shit like that. But then
Yeah.
when he popped up behind them, from when the CPS people came, and then the way they had it framed with Ridge on one side of the door and Thomas on the other side, and then Douglas just kind of popped up like a little one of them whack-a-moles, like he was like, "Oh shit, them people is
They caught me.
Yep.
like, oh,
That's so
back."
that face. Yeah.
I would totally believe that Douglas did it if it's Henry, but Django's Douglas, I wouldn't put it past. I wouldn't believe that from him because he seemed like a more mature little boy. Like he ain't trying to do all that. He just trying to spend time with his daddy. But that damn Henry's Douglas
Mm,
boy right there, I believe he was scheming on some shit. And I told y'all since the day that Thomas brought his little sad grief-stricken ass to Los Angeles that he needs to be the one setting shit on fire. That's the bad
Yes.
seed that this show needs. He needed to been cozying up to Hope and then sabotaging Liam's ass at every turn, putting like itching powder in his damn jockey pants, um,
Yeah.
little panties, whatever Liam is wearing, his little panty drawers.
Oh wait, so a couple of things. And the thing is, they held that pretty close to to the chest because he's back next by next Friday.
Holy
Yeah, the 14th. Yes, yes. That's soon, darling. That's soon.
And
So we're gonna get it. Yeah, I'm with Bubbles. I look at this Henry's Douglas. Yeah, he'll be the one because you know when it started for me, when I really seen they could really go dark with Douglas' character is when he was standing up there watching Brooke and Deacon kiss at the window that night, and I was like, "What is Douglas about to do?"
I saw
It
it
was
hmm,
before
weird.
Sanchez. I saw it in Douglas way before then. I was like, you know what? This little boy is gonna flip the fuck out while they
Yeah.
Thomas is the danger. He's gonna flip the script and he's gonna set a damn fire somewhere, and Liam is gonna be trapped because he don't want to be with Liam. He wants his mama,
Hmm.
he wants his daddy and Hope together. This little boy is fixing to do something. Now, see, I've always believed was capable of a dark side, and I wanted to see it. I used to call him Little Red Bud, Little Fire Starter.
Mm,
I was like, okay,
Thomas give me Star Manning vibes.
yes, but everybody's like, oh no, he's so sweet. Look at look, he's so sweet. He's a little hero.
mm-mm,
He's not gonna do nothing like that. That's so sweet. Look at that little baby's face. That's
mm-mm.
it, honey. That
You
is
can look in them eyes and can tell it was something behind those eyes. He was sneaky.
he
So
would look.
y'all trying to contemplate a diabolical parent trap from Douglas? I was thinking it was gonna
Well,
be more
yeah.
innocent.
No, no, not with this, not with the new, not with the old Henry coming back. Because you see, this is the Henry that's been saying every year, Mommy, oh mommy, when you promised we would be a family when we're gonna live together every year, even when Liam went his bitch ass to jail. Now that Liam's
Mm,
gone, can daddy move in? You know
I
what I'm
know
saying? So, he's
exactly.
older. He's older now, so you got to think they probably done aged him at least 3 years now. So this is that same Henry Douglas that went down and caught Brooke. Sam. So yes, I mean he got to start sabotaging because look at it. He's this Douglas. The Henry Douglas is finally getting what he's been wanting. His mommy Hope, and dad being a family. He's got that. So the only thing he gotta do now is keep Liam ass out. Sam, you was the one who said it what him and Kelly would probably if they be talking about they deadbeats dad. I
Yeah, but
told
you
you
know what
last
though?
night. Douglas
That's the
probably
thing.
telling Kelly, we finna set him up. Don't worry about it. Liam ain't finna be nothing by the time I finish with him.
I'm
I'm
and you don't neither.
you
But
thank
with
you.
this
You got
Douglas,
Finn. Stay over there with Finn. I'm finna work it out. The deadbeat finna get his. I'm telling you this. I'm with Bubbles on this one. Watch. Watch when it come out. We getting little Henry back, y'all. He bringing some shade.
this
He
I
is the
think he
truth
is.
telling. This is the truth telling little hero that's coming back. He's coming back innocent. This older Django, I could go for going more towards of a dark Douglas, but not Henry.
I can. I've always wanted him to be the bad seed. I wanted him to be the good son, just like
I want
Macaulay
him to be the
Culkin
bad
was.
seed. Now I do. I want him to be Hope's worst nightmare. I want her punishment to be Douglas for having to have him and took him from Thomas. I want him to I want him to be a problem for her for the rest of her life.
Hey, she loves her son. So, you know what? That means you got to put up with everything, not just the good hero, my little hero part. You got to put up with the other parts. And I do think that it was interesting that they meant that they talked about him becoming a teenager because that may be a
Yep.
sign that they're amping up to try to age him in the future. Not far in the future, but like, maybe by the start of next year.
I said the same thing. See, that could be just them bringing in Douglas to get this story going, and then once it's going, he gonna get back burned until he get Soras to truly be an evil Douglas. That can be a six
Possible.
months or a year.
Possible. And the thing is, this whole story has now officially thrown me for a loop, so to speak, just because a thing them if this was postscript editing with them adding this context, then a whole bunch of things now suddenly, like you said, Tim, they make sense where they didn't make sense before. Liam
Correct.
acting all batshit crazy, but and it's not just that though, because the thing is, here's the thing: Thomas is fine as fuck. Ain't nobody gonna ever argue with that in this side of paradise. But it's not. It takes more than looks to make an attraction work. And the thing is, what is Hope getting at home ever since this mess started with Douglas? Okay, because remember the point of what. Remember where Lope was right before this Douglas mess started. They was having loved in the afternoon, rolling on the floor, waxing it with their asses. They were being a happy, functional couple, as happy as functional as Lope is going to be in this lifetime. Good for them. But ever since this entire thing started, not the whole issue with Douglas, it feels like it has impacted their entire marriage. Because now all Hope gets when she comes home these days, when she is home and when she's not over at the Forrester Mansion, doing having family time with Douglas and Thomas and Beth. I'm still rolling at that. Lord, the Forrester cook know what they want for breakfast. I'm never gonna get over that.
Don't tell them what she getting, girl.
Exactly. The cook know what baby Beth wants, what the toddler wants to eat in the morning. They got her oatmeal ready. They probably got some kind of damn protein shake or something ready for Hope, or yogurt or something, or yogurt parfait. They is on the menu like regulars. The cook knows what they want. That's just the fact that we got this before the marriage imploded and Hope would have a reason to get the hell out of her mother's house is giving me everything. Is
It's
that
given us.
yes? It
Listen,
is. It's
what I feel like happened is that they knew they weren't going to be able to sell us crazy Thomas over Hope just at the third party, and they went on ahead and said, "Look, Hope gonna have to give in some. We just ain't gonna be able to do this." And she's showing us today she team Thomas and got some attraction. I don't care how evil Thomas get over this. I really
But you
don't.
know what else, you guys? I told y'all that Hope was gonna run away from home. And look at what she's doing. When she does go home, like Darlin said, when she goes home, she don't get nothing but grief from both sides. She
static.
no peace. She getting it from her mama. She getting it from her.
Mm-hmm.
So what does she do? She gets her baby and she runs to a place of peace and solace. Well, all she
Support the storm.
sit there and have family time with Douglas and Thomas and her baby, and ain't nobody in her ear telling her how she ain't capable of making decisions.
Mm-hmm.
In her ear telling her that somebody's out to get her because she doesn't have the ability to see when somebody's taking advantage of her. She's over there with them Foresters and they treat her like a equal, being
Exactly.
from her, taking what she says like she's an adult and not treat her like a child. Honey, she is running away from home every damn day. I love it.
Ex-
And taking Beth with her.
You know,
exactly, Bubbles.
her children behind, honey.
Exactly. That's you made my point eloquently. That Hope is getting nothing but static and grief and problems every time she turns around. She goes to the cabin. There's Liam with his long face and his concerns and him and his patronizing bullshit. She goes up to the big house by her mama. Same thing. Non-stop. Even worse with Brooke, because Brooke has sat up here and made this Douglas issue a cornerstone of why her marriage is in trouble because of Taylor. So no, it doesn't. It's like Hope. It doesn't matter where Hope goes on Brooke's property. She getting it from both ends. But the only place she's not getting it is at work when she's collaborating on lines with Thomas, and when she's over at the Forrester Mansion where she gets treated like a whole adult. where she's not
Yes.
questioned constantly about her poor judgment and how she's such a good person that she just can't see the bad in people because she wants to believe the best and all this patronizing bullshit that a grown woman with a child does not want to hear.
Preach on it.
They driving her ass out that door one step at a time, one night at a time. By the time the bullshit go down, Beth's gonna have a full dresser of clothes over there, and she will too.
Listen, I wonder what it's going to take for Hope to, what is it going to take for Brooke and Liam to bust down? I want to know which ones come first. Is Thomas and
Mm.
Hope going to come first to cause Brooke and Liam? I really feel like Brooke and Liam is going to be the catalyst to push Hope all the way into Thomas' bed.
Okay, my prediction is this. My thing is this: for them to actually fall into bed together. Because first of all, my thing is this: is that Bo has been very, very titchy about actual infidelity. Okay, about people actually having sex, as far as cheating is concerned. Um, I think that for Brooke, it's going to be thinking that, not just thinking that she's lost Ridge because he's lost faith in her. I'm still holding out my pen for Charlotte to come back and say that she's not legally married to Ridge. And I think if that comes to pass, Brooke will completely fall apart. Because the thing is, for Brooke, Ridge being disgusted with her or pissed at her or thinking she's done something irredeemable is fine for right now because at least they're still married. To Brooke, that's like, okay, yes, I'm screwed, but I'm not out of the game. I still got some cards in my hand. As long as we're still legally married, I got something to work with. If it comes her ass back to LA on a dark and announces a scenario where it turns out Brooke is not legally married to Ridge, Brooke will completely fall apart. She will lose her mind
So
because then that means
your
she got nothing
prediction
to
is
work with.
that, I got you. So your prediction is that Liam is going to come for Brooke because of her loss of Ridge, but then at that point he done cheated on Hope, and then it's the ticking time bomb of the secret.
Well, see, that's the thing. That is what I think needs to happen to get Brooke to a place where she could even think about putting any part of her anatomy on her daughter's husband at this point.
Again.
Because yeah, that's what can get her to that point the fastest. Liam is a bit different because as much as I would love to believe that we're going to get flat out Briam sex, which is what is ultimately the perfect option, I have to wonder if that is what we're actually going to get because I'm trying to figure out on the other side of that equation
Hey,
what would get Liam to that point.
Hey, darling, I don't know if you're like moving your phone or something, but your audio is starting to crackle.
Hold on, that's probably me. Yeah, I was walking around with my earbuds. Let me
Well,
sit
yeah.
down.
Whatever that
Yeah.
is, make
But
it worse.
Mm.
but to answer that though, I mean that trying to make it to make sense. It's never been a, objective of Brad Bell's trying to make sense. It didn't make sense for Steffi to sleep with Liam during that disgusting one night stand for no reason. So uh, just Liam going into save a hoe mode while Brooke is dropping that famous one tear that Brad Bell is saying that no man can resist. Not me. That's the narrative that he's pinned.
Hmm.
So Liam is the save a hoe. He's a rescue ranger, and then the notorious one tear drop that no man can resist. I mean, it don't take nothing more than that. Now, then the secret is on for Hope to find out, and then she gonna break complete. They already setting us up. We don't hear anything about Hope Spencer or Hope Logan Spencer. It's Hope Logan. This is the emancipation of Hope, and her rebellion is gonna be Thomas.
But we've
Brooke and
already
Liam.
discussed the
Brooke
name.
and Liam.
Oh,
Huh?
I'll be right back. Y'all carry on.
We've already discussed their names. None of the Logans go by their married name. She's never been Hope Spencer in anywhere.
So she considers herself Hope Spencer.
Since when?
The last time I heard her refer to herself was before she went on the that over that baby moon And Hope, before they when they were planning, he said something about, oh, something about Hope Logan, and she said Hope Logan Spencer. Or no, she didn't even say Hope Logan Spencer. She said Hope Spencer.
That's
She
when
said
she
Hope
was trying to
Spencer.
flex for them old people when they was waiting on the helicopter.
No, they was at home in the cabin. They was at home in the cabin, and they were talking about their baby moon. And he said something, Hope Logan, and she said Hope Spencer. And I believe that's when he said, "I was born to love you."
Oh, well, that's probably the one and only time because again, none of them ever refer to themselves by their husband's name. She ain't even got her daddy name. The only Logan that don't go by Logan is Bridget because she was a legitimate Forrester child and Brooke needed that name for her. But she still considers herself a Logan, but all of them go by Logan. Katie been married to Bill 2, 3 times and she's still Katie Logan. Even when she was running the damn company. I think that was probably one time they referred to her as Mrs. Spencer. But Katie Logan, like they don't. This odd to me that people this odd to y'all that she don't use her married name because I've never even really heard them using their married names. Even Taylor, they've been married 11 times. She was still Dr. Hayes.
Well, I think this is the emancipation of Hope. She is
Oh, I
free. She's
on
getting
that.
free. She is getting free from. She's freeing herself from Brooke and Liam. That's what and I feel like Brooke and Liam. I just don't know which coming first. Hope and Thomas or Brooke and Liam, and I feel like it's gonna be Brooke and Liam. All because just simply Brooke lost her destiny, and Tom and Liam is gonna be home alone because Hope ain't making home from Thomas' house with Beth. He gonna be lonely, and he gonna be sitting up there probably commiserating with Brooke and might throw back some shots or whatever. And then next thing you know, Brooke panties gonna be off. Y'all know that that's wishful thinking, right? I'm
Well,
speaking it into existence.
I sit here and agree with you all the time, honey.
Mhm.
Especially on that. I want them to have. I want them to fall in the bed right now, but it's too soon. It's got to lead up to it.
Well, you
And
know what? This postscript, it might not lead up to nothing. The postscript is basically catching us up as to what has been already going on, y'all. Something finna change. Just like, let me tell you, just like when Steffi magically told us, and it was a shock when she told Liam that Finn had been sleeping over the nights at her house, and it was a shock to us that Finn and Steffi was sleeping together
yeah,
all of
because
a sudden.
they never told us.
But they told us all of a sudden that it had been happening, and they just told us nonchalantly. We hadn't been we never suspected, did we? Something was big coming. um Bill and that disgusting one night stand or the mannequin gate or whichever one he was trying to get hyped up at the time. But that was reminiscent to me of a bomb dropping about a character's nightlife that we had no idea was happening, but they letting us know, oh, it's happening, it's been happening. So
Mhm.
I don't see it being too far off with what we're talking. I don't at all. I think it's coming sooner rather than later.
I agree with you. It does feel like the pot is getting ready to boil over. Like whatever you got in the microwave, if you don't stop it right now, it's either gonna burn or bubble over, and you're not gonna be able to take it back. And I want it to be Liam and Brooke because she is primed to have a huge disappointment. And I know Bill is in this storyline, but he is the red herring. Bill is not going to be the man that she runs to. Everybody is like, well, no, Bill is there. Bill is going to be the one to tell her that that Ridge flew off to Aspen, which will send Brooke off to Aspen. But I really believe Bill is the red herring. He's just
He
there
is.
to lull us into a false sense of security because that's what people are expecting. They are
Correct.
not expecting her to fall into an indecent situation with Liam because how could you do that after giving him to Hope for messing up with Oliver? How could you turn around and do it to her twice? Well, Brittany got it twice too. Katie got it twice. Donna got it a couple of times.
Yep. It's time. It is time. And the what I saw today was Liam having his excuse ready to cheat on his wife again. The excuse is she doesn't even sometimes come home at night. So
Right.
he's not going to be trying to take it out on her, but his excuse is going to be he was home alone. He just meandered on down to the big house and came in through the sliding glass doors to a sad, teary eyed, dry pussied Brooke. And all he did was comfort her. And he gave her dry vagina some soothing by giving it some moisture.
See, and I feel like she gonna be the one to run down there to the cabin because she gonna know that Hope it ain't there, or maybe that'll be her guy. She running down to talk to Hope, but Hope is not there, and Liam is there, and she needs to be comforted. And for the first time in her life, Brooke is going to buff a wooden floor. She gonna buff the floors of the cabin herself. Um,
I don't see Brooke getting down on the floor. I see it going down at Brooke's house. I don't see Brooke getting down on the floor with Liam because anyway, Liam is way beneath Brooke, and I think that
Yeah,
she just is so weak and vulnerable. It's gonna be in her house. Liam gonna she might even have had a drink. Brooke
yeah,
might even have had a drink or two when Liam stumbles upon her while he's upset. He might drink at his house, she might drink at hers. He might come over to check on her. Next thing you know, they fucking.
yeah,
Because what was established today is sometime Hope don't come home. And of course, that's not going to be okay with any husband under
yeah.
any circumstance. So he has a right to be upset that his wife isn't home. So when he slams back a shot of tequila or two before he goes up to the big house to ask Brooke, is he heard from Hope because he ain't heard from her. She gonna be a little bit tipsy and slurred, and they gonna start crying with each other, and then next thing you know, they gonna be comforting one another.
It's gonna be like that mannequin incident all over again.
It
He's,
could be, but
he's
they
gonna
passed
be
out and
upset
been together.
because Hope. He's gonna be upset because Hope is gonna be with Thomas, and just like Ridge told him, when he was threatening, unconscious Thomas that day and telling him, you don't
Mhm.
even know what love is because you haven't loved anyone as much
Enough to
or
forgive
stuck
them.
around long enough to fight for them, and
Yeah.
that's what's gonna
To
happen.
forgive
He's
them.
gonna be in his feelings, and Hope is going to be over there at Thomas. Maybe one of those nights she's going to be sleeping over. And instead of him staying at home fixing it, or either going over there to the Forrester mansion, knocking on the door and getting Hope, dragging Hope ass out of there, he going to go down there to Brooke house and he going, oh, I need a drink. Same like he did with Steffi in that damn dirty one night stand. Do you want to
Mhm.
drink with me? Because I need a drink. And they're gonna start to drinking, and then he gonna ask her, so is Ridge come back home, or is he over there with Taylor? Are y'all
Well,
any
he's not gonna
closer to
offer her
getting back
nothing to drink
together?
because he knows she an alcoholic. That's why
Oh
I'm
yeah,
saying
so
she
he
might
may
speak
not,
her
so
own truth.
he may just pour himself one. That's right, because that's
Exactly.
right, she's an alcoholic.
Exactly.
But that's how it's gonna start. It's gonna be the same way because that's the one thing we know about Liam is he gonna stay true to form. Liam has been
Mm-hmm.
true to character the last 14, 15 years since he's been on the show. So, and that's exactly what he's going to do. That's all it's going to be. It ain't going to be no big mystery. The only is just Liam is going to want what he normally does is when he's pissed off at his spouse, he goes to the next woman to get his little BB wet. That's it.
Right.
God,
Mm-hmm.
And and Hope might not even be doing nothing over there with Thomas. But
And
she
that's
might be feeling bad because she understanding how Liam might feel. It might even be Thomas to encourage her to go home. Like Hope, now Douglas, me and Douglas, we want anytime you like he told her today, anytime you welcome anytime. But Liam feeling some type of way, and that old deadbeat bastard. You know how you gonna get. And she could be, you right, Thomas. Let me go ahead on and go home. And she could go home and she could drive her ass down there and come through Brook though and catch him in a compromising position. That's how
I
this
would
shit
love
gonna
it.
happen.
yep,
I would love it.
yep.
yep, because Part of Sam was right about one thing for certainty. Part of, aside from showing that there is definitely some sort of distance developing between Liam and Hope, the whole point of them mentioning that she has been spending nights out at the Forrester house with Douglas and Beth is to create the opportunity for something like this to happen, because nothing like this can't happen with Hope down at the cabin. This can't happen if she's on the damn property. It just won't. So Hope, this
Yes.
so them having introduced this new facet of Hope actually not being around and actually being gone for the whole night at the Forest Mansion on Willow Hill, that's part of the point, to create
With
the
with
opportunity.
with
Yeah,
Beth. That means Liam is
Hmm.
completely alone in the
that's right.
cabin, and he
Yes.
can get him a couple of beers. Brooke is going to be in the big house. He can meander through them sliding glass doors. Like I said, that post to me, that was postscripting to let us know, oh, Hope always don't come home at night, and Liam home
Yeah,
all the time by himself at night.
Come
that's right.
And when
back.
Brooke ain't got no husband coming through the door, when Ridge is no longer coming through the door, is she just as lonely as ever? Hmm.
Hmm.
It's a done
Listen,
deal. I'm telling you that today was the day of revelation.
It was. It was clear to me. It was a whole conversation. I even thought Liam was about to admit to be the one to call in CPS because the conversation they had last week, when I felt like it was strange that neither one of, like, it was strange that Brooke didn't deny it, and it was strange that he didn't ask Brooke, like, well, who could have told Brooke? Only you and I knew, and Hope knew, and of course Ridge knows, and I'm pretty sure he told Thomas by now. I always wondered why he never asked Brooke, like, well, Brooke, who could have made the CPS call? Did you make the call?
He
I
did.
mean, because, like, how do you,
Liam did ask Brooke that. Who could have done this? And
he
Brooke
Yes.
just
didn't,
kind of started
and
looking at the ceiling like she ain't seen
yeah,
nothing.
yeah. She didn't deny it, but I felt like he should have questioned. He should have came with a follow up question, like, well, you told me and Hope, and of course Ridge knows, but who do you think could have did it? Like, he didn't speculate more on that. And
No.
today they were so comfortable. He was so comfortable talking to her, like he hadn't just. He's made that home his home, y'all, and he
So
just go to the
basically,
cabin to wait
Brooke
on Hope.
is counselor now, where Steffi used to be. Now we
Yeah,
gonna
Yep.
see Liam popping up at Brooke's house all the time
yeah,
to complain about Hope.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
I done told y'all it was coming. I'm so excited I could scream.
Me too. Hey, listen, I
Yeah.
told you, I'm already team Hope.
But Bubbles, you still gonna make that whole stain account, huh, y'all? We got to get our hair done. We got to have our drinks ready. We going live. We doing this, baby, because Brim is happening. I'm ready for it.
Ah, I know
And
that's right.
Girl.
And Bubbles, I need you to make that whole stain account because you know Lope fans finna start dragging Hope, y'all.
Oh,
They
listen,
They are.
they
already
already
dragging
dragging
her.
Casey Casper's. Yeah, I feel bad for old Casey. They tagging him about how it's an abomination that
Yeah,
they dare to write Hope.
with her
Actually,
stepbrother.
like I mean, like this is the first time. Bold and Beautiful is the most incestuous show ever to be written,
Yeah,
besides Flowers in the Attic. Besides that,
Yeah,
and
I
I don't
wanted
know.
to
I
ask what
think
show they
Bold
been
gets more money
watching.
for their money, huh?
I wanted to know what show y'all been watching. People been hooking up crazy, sideways crazy for this almost pretty much the entire show run.
This whole
between
show
them and
is.
Days,
I
they
mean,
running hand in hand.
You have Foresters dating each other. Steffi Forster and Rick Forster, Ivy Forster and Thomas Forster. I mean,
Yeah,
come on. They acting like they ain't been watching this show. The least of it is that they not blood. They married. What did you call it? What you call it when you marry step brothers, step siblings?
incest.
It ain't incest if they ain't related by blood. So it's they step siblings. They ain't related by no
Hmm.
blood. They parents married each other. Them people can if they want to.
They show
But it
came in.
is kind of gross.
It's the whole reason they changed Ridge's paternity to be able to make half of the show eligible to date the other half.
That, and
To
that's
make it incestuous.
because the
Exactly.
first thing they did was try to put his ass with Bridget.
Yep.
Ugh,
Yeah.
that was
How
awful.
you gonna somebody that you used to call daughter? And I
Right.
remember they were
That was a
walking
freak
and talking
show.
when she thought Ridge was her daddy. She was like Kelly age, right? She was
Yeah.
like Kelly age.
Hmm. That was a complete freak show, and I'm glad they ended it quick. It was awful. Whew,
Yeah. That was a bridge too far for anybody. Because just as
literally.
a woman, I wouldn't want a man that could even turn on that way after that. What's wrong with you? That's just me. What's wrong with you? You thought she was your daughter.
And then after that, she was your sister.
It,
Mm,
ugh,
mm, mm.
ugh, ugh,
So
ugh.
that's what they do, honey.
Exactly.
That's how I felt when they put Steffi and Rick together. Because I'm like,
Correct.
that
That was
is
her
her
Uncle Rick.
Rick, and y'all
Uncle
want
Rick.
me to sit here and believe that? Well, first off, Uncle Rick and Phoebe, then Uncle Rick and Steffi, and then Uncle Rick took
Uncle Rick and Taylor.
Steffi, and Uncle Rick was gonna marry Steffi. Um, I blame Uncle Rick a lot for Steffi's behavior as a person growing up as well because he fucked with her head. Um, but yeah, they more incestuous. We used to think Days of Our Lives was kind of incestuous, but Bold and the
They ain't
Beautiful,
got nothing on bowl. Nothing. Nothing has anything on bowl. I
no,
mean, Flowers in the Attic might have something on it, but I don't know. I think Brad Bell giving them a run for their money when it comes to the incest, for
because
real.
it ain't
So they,
but
they can let that go. If they Ridge, their hero is a two-time rapist. I mean, come on. If they think that Brad Bell cares that Hope and Thomas once thought they were used to call each other brother and sister, that is not going to deter that man
not at
at
all.
all. At all. And I think that Thomas and Hope dynamic is way more interesting than Thomas and Liam. I mean, I'm sorry, Hope and Liam. Hope and Liam are too boring together. Hope wants to be a good girl. She needs then to have Thomas with the midge. Just like Finn and Steffi. She's the one that's wild and crazy.
I mean, the only part about, and it's the only thing that makes me leery about Thope is that I just don't want Thomas to have to go under the bus to make it happen. That's
Well,
really.
in the end, it is because we know that after Hope falls for Thomas and they are about to get married, that it's going to come out that he made the call. So he's going to get thrown under the bus.
Yeah, because they gotta save Brooke, and they gotta give her a reason to complain about how she and Ridge got robbed,
Exactly.
how their destiny has been stolen from them.
So she can fight for Ridge.
Right.
Exactly. So she can get back on that. She'll fight for Ridge for another few years until Destiny takes hold again. But as long as it's a few years. I mean, I'm just
Hmm.
not with this flip flopping all the time. I mean, just not constantly. If we can get Ridge for a few years, let's do it. And let Brooke be on the outside trying to woo a faithful Ridge.
Oh,
And
I
then let
told
Bill try to pick up the pieces.
I done told you I've been with it. I've been with it. I want if they're gonna do it, then first of all, I want Ridge to beg for many months. Like maybe Taylor finally says yes on the 4th of July so they can have fireworks when they make love. Um,
Okay.
but I want them to wait. And then I want it to be many years before Brooke walking around looking stupid in the face, talking about how her destiny was stolen, and Red saying, "No, I just really needed to get back to where I should have been in the first place before I got sidetracked."
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
don't want him to be like, "Oh, well, Okay, since you really didn't do this, I'm gonna go ahead and leave Taylor again and come back. I want him to be just like he was when she was trying to tell him that that little girl was his baby, and she was expecting him to leave Taylor, and he was like, "Honey, I'm not gonna leave my wife. That could be the truth, but I'm not leaving my wife." I want him to be like, "Well, that could be the truth that you didn't do this, and it's unfortunate." But at the same time, I wasn't happy, and I am not fixing to sign up for Destiny again. So we good, girl. Go on and
Right.
Mm-hmm.
life. Go find Deacon, a real
Well,
one.
that's what the dialogue, and that's what Taylor's dialogue. I mean, the Taylor's dialogue is telling us what we hear what you've been complaining about. But are they telling us that okay, we finna give it to you? See, because it sounds like they're being pretty crystal clear that Taylor is this is not going to be what we think it is. But how can we not when we see what just happened? Ridge running out because Brooke answered the question wrong. He didn't even tell her, yeah, I know you lying. He didn't even tell her, I'm mad at you, cancel the dinner plans. He just walked out the door.
See, but it's
I'm
the same thing
so
I said
upset with
last
you.
night though. It's the
Right.
it's the whole problem is going to be that Taylor made it really clear to today to Steffi at what kind of a toll placing her hopes on Ridge has taken on her at this point. Like when Steffi buzzed up and said, "You just gotta give it time," Taylor was like, "What you mean give him time? It's been years." Oh, give him time. Yeah, he's had enough time. He's had more than enough time to sort himself out. My whole problem is with Ridge showing his regular ass up at Aspen like a ghost in the night or the day. Because I'm gonna be very honest, this is why I'm not a soap writer. Because when he showed up and was calling for Taylor, and she looked over at him, and he came over there, and I had been writing today's script, I'd have said, "Who let you on the property?" It completely ruined the moment. But the thing is that she's made it clear that she's not a consolation prize, that she cannot tolerate Ridge coming to her because Brooke has disappointed him or broken his heart for the nth damn time. She's sick of that shit. She's sick of it. She's sick of it. She doesn't want anything further to do with it or anything like it where she's not coming first. And Ridge, since he basically just teleported, like he's a character in Dragon Ball Z or something, he basically teleported from LA to Aspen just like that. And absolutely no one even knows he's gone. Thomas doesn't know he's gone. Brooke up here pushing back reservations like she got somebody to eat dinner with. On the,
Can't wait. Can't wait to keep that
she that is that is gonna be funny. Eric don't know. Nobody knows Ridge has left. So and also, what I also noticed was that when Steffi called Thomas to tell him how concerned she was that their mom really is giving up, that even though they came out to Aspen and she was hoping to buy some time and such, that their mom, that this has been hard on her and she really does want to give up on their dad. Notice I'm interested to see what we pick up tomorrow, because notice Thomas didn't say anything about the circumstances with CPS. That has still not left his mouth yet. Now Ridge originally asked him not to say nothing to nobody about it, and it seems that Thomas, I know it was because he said he was going to talk to Brooke himself, but now he's done that, and I don't know if Thomas will tell Steffi tomorrow, because I'm sitting up here looking at Ridge in his jacket and his happy-go-lucky ass, and I'm like, you is not about to tell this woman that Brooke didn't totally screwed y'all son over. I just don't see it. I do not see Ridge coming to Aspen and telling Taylor what Brooke has done. Again, I feel like he's gonna keep play that close to the vest because he's trying to get Taylor to give him a chance. And if he tells her that, he ain't getting no damn chance. Not that he deserves one.
And him and Thomas gonna keep Walter a secret for months.
Yep.
Right, because that's the big thing. They're the only ones who quote unquote know Brooke made the call, and they have not told anyone that Brooke made the call. That is strictly need to know information, and the only people who know right now are Walter, Ridge, and Thomas, and they do not
Ridge
seem
told
inclined
Thomas
to
not to
spread.
tell.
Yeah,
Ridge
and
told
Thomas
Thomas not
hasn't.
to tell. Right.
Right. And Rich hasn't told anybody. So, I mean, at this point, it's really like Brooke is going to be given, it almost feels like Brooke is going to basically be told her walking papers are in the process of being cut, and she's not going to be given a reason why they're being cut. That
Exactly.
he's
Exactly. Exactly. You're right. And then it's gonna be, why did I drink? It's gonna be, why did Ridge divorce me? She might start wondering about the CPS call because that's the last thing they disagreed about. Even though she tried to pretend like it wasn't a big deal, and she, been trying to get him to bed after she threatened to call CPS on his son. But he's
mhm,
been known to disregard and ignore the evil things she's done to his children. So you could expect for her to be, expect for him to just fall like putty in her hands after, calling CPS on his son. So I could see her not thinking it's a big deal, but in hindsight, she may. Now, maybe her and Bill will get together and get down to the bottom of it. But again, by that time, so much will be done happened that all she can do is cry about it.
exactly. And so she's just going to be, she's going to be devastated because she won't know what the tipping point is that made Ridge decide that their marriage wasn't feasible anymore. She gonna just start spiraling like she nuts, cause that's just Brooke.
But listen, you guys are missing the point that y'all keep bringing up. If in fact Shauna is coming back to reveal that they not married anyway, then the question becomes, why did Ridge choose not to come back and completely recommit himself? She's going to be wanting to run down to the JOP and re-sign papers and say vows with him. And he's going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that with you. So
Mhm.
it's gonna be, if Shauna's coming back to drop that little nugget instead of something going on with Quinn or Flo, then Ridge is single. He's nobody's husband now. He's
Mhm.
nobody's husband, and Taylor can sleep with him without fear of being a homewrecker.
Exactly, because that's the first thing Ridge is gonna do. The second he find out that he is not legally Mr. Logan anymore, he gonna run the tail and tell her that so fast. He might shit. Ridge might get there faster than he did got to Aspen today.
He used Abby's teleporter.
Yeah,
You know
I
what? That would be cold blooded as hell for him to actually go off, because Steffi mentioned marriage today or yesterday to Taylor. She
mhm.
mentioned marriage to Taylor yesterday. Taylor rolled her eyes. But wouldn't it be something if Ridge ran off and married Taylor without even telling Brooke that they are not even married?
That would be absolutely hilarious because the thing is, if Shauna comes back to LA, Shauna is not going to be popping by the Logan Mansion. That's not going to be a place she goes. She would most likely either go to Forrester to
Yep.
see Ridge, or
I'll go to
she would feel more comfortable going to Eric's house since her and Eric are on decent terms.
correct. Correct.
So that would be so. Yes, it is very possible that whatever happens, I'm pretty sure Ridge's first stop is going to be Carter. Okay, to confirm that. Well, hold on, wait. Shauna's saying XYZ. What the hell happened, Carter? You said that the divorce never really took, even though the papers were filed, which never really made no damn sense to none of us anyway.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
That never made sense back when that happened. After everything happened with Shauna and the Vegas wedding and all that bullshit, it didn't make no sense.
Right,
But
because some
yeah,
of them had divorce papers. They actually had annulment papers. So in order to file an annulment, there had to be a marriage, which means the divorce had to happen.
hmm and I really do. Yes, indeed, I really do feel like The first thing that Ridge is going to do is because you know the first thing that's gonna come out of Taylor mouth, because I'm interested to see. I want to see Taylor Reed drag Ridge's ass for filth up there in the mountains, because he got it coming. Because he been playing games not just in the last few years, but ever since they got back from Monaco, Ridge has been pissing me off even more so than usual. So I'm looking forward to seeing Taylor drag his ass to filth because he deserves it. And I definitely want to hear, and I know one of her main sticking points when she drag him is gonna be your ass is a married damn man, Ridge. Okay? And I don't fool with married men. I'm not that type of woman.
Mm.
Only for Shauna to mythically show up and bloop bloop. Well, yeah, actually he's not. He's actually quite available if you want him.
Hmm. You know, we know we always had those three things put down for Shauna. Explain Flo's absence, explain Quinn's absence, and free Ridge. If and we
Mm-hmm.
know that Taylor has been steadfast on Ridge being Brooke's husband, and Brooke has been saying my husband a lot the past several weeks. That to me sounds like karma. That Ridge really is not her husband.
Mm-hmm.
And now, when we talk about meant to be, right? Taylor's been talking a lot about meant to be. If it's meant to be, it'll be. And talking about karma. If this all, if Ridge turns out to be not married to Brooke today because Brooke took off her ring in because Ridge refused to buckle and sign away Douglas, for Thomas to sign away his rights to Douglas. Remember, all that started. Brooke taking off her ring and those divorce papers getting filed was
Mm-hmm.
about Ridge standing up to her about taking Douglas from Thomas. Wouldn't that be irony if all the way today, regardless of what's happened in between, they are not married because of that shit? Regardless of everything that's happened in between, they have been divorced since then. That's karma. That's karma.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking all this and stomping around Destiny, and that man ain't even her husband because she took off her ring as a flex to get him to give away his grandson.
All the way I would cackle if that little piece of karma came back to poop, I'll slap her in the face. Because that's what started all of this shit in the beginning with her trying to get Douglas away from Thomas in the first place and not listening to Ridge when he said he wanted to get his son some help and not strip him of his parental rights. And she said,
Mm-hmm.
well, I'll just take my ring off so Ridge will know I mean business. She was
Yep.
breaking that shit to the coven. And they were like,
Yep.
girl, go on, do it, girl, go on, do it. Take your ring off. Show him who's boss.
Mm-hmm.
And she took that ring
Mm-hmm.
off and was like, well, I guess we done here, the divorce papers. And her dumb ass doubled down
Signed it.
and signed that shit.
She showed did. She put, nobody forced her to put ink to paper. But Brooke did that in
Mm-hmm.
2019, and she did that of her own free will because she was trying to strong arm Ridge into giving away his
Mm-hmm.
grandson. Now, when I say karma, if we come to this day, right now, R-A-T now, that she is not married to Ridge today because of that action she took in 2019 against Ridge and his son, that to me is irony and would, in my opinion, seal the deal on what Taylor says is karma and what the fuck is meant to be.
Oh yes. Oh yes. That would be karma isn't even the word for it. Because
That's
yes,
poetic justice.
Brooke was all big, bad, and bold as shit when
Yep.
she was the only game in town. She could not be
Mhm.
stopped. Nobody couldn't tell her nothing. She was signing divorce papers and taking off rings like it wasn't no thing but a damn chicken wing.
Preach on it.
She ain't had nothing because if Ridge wouldn't do what she wanted up front, she had no problem. No issues sitting up there and using circumstances or items like her ring and divorce papers to try to threaten or bully or push him into doing what she wanted.
Which
And
was
if
to strip him of his grandson.
exactly. And now here we are, two plus
Mhm.
years later. She does not have the luxury that she had once upon a time. She has
Mhm.
no, she cannot sign divorce papers. She cannot take off rings. And she would never dare to at this point because she
Nope.
knows she can't afford to. But
Hmm.
so we don't have to worry about her taking off no rings or signing no papers now because she won't. But if she messed with that shit before, and it turns out that that shit was legal and binding, she might actually just have. I think Brooke might be in the realm to have a heart attack over there. She will have pull a full on Fred Sanford.
I hope
Wouldn't
that
you?
don't do because it
Right?
should be her. This is all of your doing at your feet, ma'am. This is
Yep.
everything that you wrote.
Yep.
What?
Yes,
She was
ma'am.
the one, Brooke was the one that ran behind everybody's back and even had the idea to draw up adoption papers. Brooke was the one that convinced Hope and Liam that Thomas needed to sever his rights. Brooke was the one that convinced them that, okay, we got to act fast before Danny and Karen jump in. Brooke was the one to convince them that Douglas needed to be protected at all costs. Brooke was the one that took off her ring in defense of that idea. Brooke was the one that, like you said, doubled down, signed those divorce papers. She did that. And it wasn't because of a manipulation. She knew what happened. Her and Hope manipulated Thomas to sign those adoption papers. They thought they killed him, pushed him in a vat. Ridge found out. She didn't care. She did not care. So if she and that man is not married today because of those actions she took, that is karma.
I
And
will fall out laughing.
I want it to be. That's exactly what I want to hear. I want it to be a big old dose of karma, and I want her to realize it. I want her to sit
Yes,
down and think, if I had never taken off my ring, we wouldn't be.
yes, yes. Well, you can do those flashbacks backwards, where it's like going backwards, where she can go back to where she had that ring in her hand, or where she signed those papers, and then go fast forward, fast back. All that shit was her fault.
Yes.
Yes, it was. If I had never insisted that Hope and
Adopt.
Liam adopt Douglas, if I hadn't
Mhm.
insisted on that and used and tried to use it to use my marriage to leverage the outcome that I wanted in that situation, I would not be in the situation I am now. Ooh, karma. That's all. Like I said, remember I said earlier that karma was baking us a three-layer cake. That would be like the top tier.
That's
I
right.
want a 12-layer cake like they be making on the Great British Baking Show. Nice thin layers of sponge with some nice even theme layers of some kind of creamy frosting or some kind of fruit, something that's in between the layers.
Oh,
And
stop that.
it's got a beautiful chocolate ganache on a mirror glaze. I want a mirror glaze, um, and some flowers made out of some damn royal icing, and somebody that made a bird sculpture, and the bird is in the nest, or it's a hummingbird, and the hummingbird is in the flower. That's the fucking kind of cake I want for this event, ma'am.
You know what the cake
Two
should say
layers
on the
is
top?
not enough.
You know what the cake should say on the top?
That the fucking bridge is burnt.
I won't allow it. Because that's what she always says. When
Oh
she means to do whatever she wants, whatever she gonna do to get what she want, I won't allow it. She
yes.
told Ridge that she was not going to allow him to choose Thomas over her. She wasn't going to allow him to just let Thomas have whatever she wants. No, she won't allow it because Ridge is going to free her so she can sit over there and keep saying she won't allow it while everybody else living their life. She chose it.
Mm-mm.
She the one made this. She draw the line. She always says she won't allow it. She won't rest till, and she gonna make damn sure Hope gets what she want. And it would be poetic justice for her to lose everything to that goal. And Hope got what she wants. She got Thomas, Douglas, Liam, and Beth. And Hope Brooke gonna be the one that's out.
The
Wow.
what that would see, but that's the thing. Brooke, the thing is that Brooke is so she is so swept up in her own issues that she is for the first time in many years she is not keeping a close eye on on Hope, on Hope, her situation, and more importantly her emotional state. Because see, all Brooke is seeing, and the thing is, Brooke should know better. She's Brooke Logan. She is the queen of I got swept up in it bullshit. Okay, so she knows all about alienation of affections, of her affections being alienated to another man, of her spending her whole life trying to alienate a man's affection in her direction. She really is so caught up in bullshit, in her own bullshit. She's so deep in her own bullshit that she can't see that there are changes there in Hope. Not just because she just wants the convenience of saying, "Oh, it's because Thomas is manipulating her." But that's not what it is. Hope herself Hope ain't never came out of bag on her mama like she did this week. Never.
Well,
She
that's because
ain't.
Hope.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, I feel like Hope is just seeing for herself that her mom is not really even interested in Hope right now. Brooke has conflated everything that's going on with Hope, Douglas, Thomas, Steffi, and Taylor to be all about her relationship with Ridge. I think
Her
that
marriage.
Brooke is not really concerned about Douglas. Brooke thinks that if Douglas is back in Hope's cabin, then she would not be having any problems with Ridge. Brooke is that simple.
Yes.
It's as simple as that. She ain't trying to goddamn put. She already checking tabs on Hope. That's second nature to her. She's been doing that since she pushed that girl out the womb. Micromanaging Hope is like Brooke can walk and chew gum, and she can be, that clown on a unit thing doing juggling balls around. She can manage Hope and a thousand other things at this point. Hope sees Brooke for what it is. Brooke is not concerned about Hope or Douglas at this point. Brooke is trying to put a band-aid on her marriage. Hope sees it
Mm-hmm.
for what it is. Brooke is she's got her head in the clouds. She absolutely has her head in the clouds at this point.
She going somewhere, honey. Because she is not thinking things through, and that's fixing
At
to be
all.
her demise. Her demise is nigh. Her day is coming. Ooh,
And
child.
she doesn't and she's not even going to see it coming. But the thing is, but you're right about that, about her being able, her managing Hope is second nature to her. But the fact of the matter is that she is so mired in her own bullshit that even when confronted with the absolute truth of what
Yep.
how deep her problems is, she don't see it. Case in
Right.
point, Liam Tolt gave her some information that should have been like a red flag to her. What do you mean Hope is spending nights over at Eric's with Beth? How long has this been going on? This been going on and I don't know about it? Hope ain't said nothing to me about it. You trying to tell me this has been going on and Hope purposely did not say anything to me about it? That is a huge red flag. That means that she was that your precious daughter, who, like I said, this is the woman who stage managed her losing her damn virginity, for God's sake. If that is not an indication of just how deep in Hope's business Brooke has always it has been, nothing is.
And you know what else it is?
Mm,
An indication of how Brad Bell has been showing us just this week how far apart Hope is pulling, how far away Hope is pulling from Brooke. Hope
hmm
is pulling away from Brooke intentionally, just as she's not really pulling away from Liam. Liam is pushing her away, but
Yes,
she's pulling away from Brooke.
she is.
She sees it for what
Fast.
it is. She sees that Brooke was using Douglas, that situation, to blow it out of proportion. She saw that. She rolled her eyes about it. She even almost throwed her hands to her face. Like,
Right. And
this is
Simone,
bullshit. Yep.
And Simone Francis on YouTube said it right. Brooke is not seeing it with Ridge or nor Hope. She's so focused on beating Taylor, and Hope keeping Douglas to herself is a win for Brooke. So Brooke ain't seeing the forest for the trees for nothing. I mean,
Yep.
because the thing is, you have all these red flags that are just circling Brooke like a damn hurricane, and she's not seeing any of them. Ridge running out of the house like that is a red flag. He ran. You don't really know. He said he was going back to the office, and you're just doing what? You're staying at the house, and he hasn't
Making
come back yet,
plans
and you're
while
calling
he's
him.
not answering. Right. She making
Exactly.
plans for dinner and he's not even responding to text messages.
Exactly. She ain't took her ass. I mean, I'm sorry. Brooker 10 years ago would have had her ass over at Forrester. The second Liam got his ass the hell out of her living room, he would have been like, "Well, he said he was going to the office. Well, I'll just go there." But Ridge was never at the office. Ridge
Now check this
Ridge
part.
left and ran back to Eric's house.
Hmm. Now you remember a couple of weeks ago when Liam, Brooke, and Hope were in Brooke's house having a conversation, and Liam and Hope were on the same side of the living room. Brooke was
Hmm.
on the opposite side. And as Brooke was talking, Hope and Liam kept looking at each other like, is this fish crazy? Remember?
Hmm. Yes.
So you see that contrast where at one point a couple weeks ago, Hope and Liam both were looking at Brooke like she was damn crazy. Today, Hope's still looking at Brooke like she was crazy. But Liam now is empathizing with Brooke. We have shifted guys into Briam territory. It's happening.
Hmm.
It's happening.
It
We
has
got 30
because
more minutes. Are we gonna talk about days or GH?
oh
Um,
yeah, we can pop over to those. I don't mind.
What's
yes,
up, bub?
I caught up with Days today, and I watched GH today only because y'all know I don't care about nobody on GH but Esme, and I got to see her lurking, um, for a little bit, so I was quite pleased.
She did good. I mean, she did. There wasn't the end her showing up for her daddy jail cell or his padded room, whatever the hell you call it, where they got him locked up at.
Now, how the hell did she get in there when she's supposed to be dead?
That is a very good question. How did she
She
get in
probably
there?
flirted with somebody. She's a girl.
Yeah, but at
Probably
the
flirted with
same
somebody.
time, she's missing. And Ryan told Ryan told Ava that Ava told Ryan that she pretty much hinted to him that she had killed Esme. And so he's upset. So ain't but a few of them that think Esme is dead. So the fact that she walked in his room at the end of the show today is going to be awesome because then he's going to tell her, well, you know, them people think you dead, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Knows that they think that she's dead, even though they set up that whack ass text message from the French Riviera like that with her. She fixed
Mm.
to mess them people's lives up for real, honey. And I hope she got a baby in her belly.
I
Mm.
swear, if they don't let her be pregnant, I'm gonna be so disappointed.
How's she gonna be pregnant after falling in the parapet?
Honey, that's a
Girl,
Cassadine baby. What you talking about? That
Cassadine babies don't die easy.
right,
Mm.
that baby is wrapped in a Kevlar womb. What is you talking about? That
Okay.
baby is in an eggshell.
Mm. I
No,
didn't
you
know.
ain't. She wasn't delicate like Steffi and fell off that. You remember when Hope pushed Steffi into the desk and
Hmm.
everybody was terrified that Steffi would lose the baby because she had complications before. No, them Cassadines, them little fetuses, but they plants. I don't think it. Somebody check it for me. But has there ever been a Cassadine miscarriage? Like the woman got pregnant and oh no, I lost the baby. I don't think we've ever had that situation because them plants.
No, I honestly I can't say that there has been. I mean, because first of all, one they don't let Cassadines breed lightly. Okay, they don't. They really don't. They do not let Cassadines breed lightly. Honestly, the most fertile Cassadine is Alexis. She, the fact that she was allowed to have as many children as she's had up to this point, in and of itself, is a damn miracle.
Mm.
But them Cassadine men, no, they don't let. Because I'm thinking back through Nicholas's. Stefan ain't had no churn to speak of before he passed. And I'm thinking back about Nicholas and his relationships with various women, and I do not recall him um having gotten anyone pregnant who miscarried. The more I think about it, no, all the women he done fooled with, no, I don't recall him having no getting nobody pregnant and having them miscarry, not even once.
Now, so see, that just tells me that this baby that Esme is carrying, I don't care if she's faking a baby and ends up stealing one. But I feel like she gonna really mess up some lives. And this baby ain't even got to be a damn Cassadine, but that's the only person she slept with was Nicholas. Child, she fixed to have her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend's sibling.
That will have me rolling on the floor laughing. Because first of all, one, I wants to see of all people, I wants to see the look on Victor and Valentine's face more than anybody else.
Right.
I Cause they, cause here's the thing, they're hard. They're like, you know what? Nah, we gotta neutralize this. We gotta take care of that. We not letting you bring the family down. If they find out that this girl, honestly, I would not put it past them to try to pull a dollar bill on her ass like Dollar Bill tried to do Amber. Be like, oh no, oh hell no,
Like we gotta throw her off the parapet again.
and make it stick this time
You ain't gonna get no second chance, honey, because Esme is not your average bear.
at all.
Y'all so
Like,
crazy. Not the average bear.
Bear
excuse me,
is legitimate psycho, and I love her like that.
cause
I know that's right. I love my villains.
she is
Hmm.
crazy enough to do any and everything to anyone. She has no limits. She's not like your normal psychopaths, okay? Like regular psychos, they have like, their sacred cows. They're people who they would not hurt for anything in the world. Like case in point, even with somebody like Sheila. Sheila will throw anybody in the world under the bus, but she would never purposely set out to hurt Finn or any of her children. It just sometimes, ends up going that way
Yes.
for obvious reasons.
Yes.
But Esme, she don't have nobody like that in her corner, unless you count the nanny lady, Maggie or whatever her name is.
I feel like that's a damn figment of her imagination. Until this lady manifests, she's a figment of Esme's imagination. That's just what she calls her journal. I feel like if somebody is helping her out, is a co-signer, it's that damn Rory. Because he's just too vanilla for me.
Hmm. Yeah, I always felt like Rory was too attracted to Esme. I remember a scene where they were at that pool, the Carly's restaurant pool or hotel pool,
Hmm.
and she walked up to Rory. He was alone. I think Trina had don't stepped away or something, and she said something to him, but they had some serious sexual chemistry going on
Yes, they
between the two of them, and it was reciprocal. And I found it very refreshing. I was like, "Fucking cool." They letting Esme flirt with Rory and letting Rory flirt back. I was like, "Excellent. I love it here." But it didn't go anywhere. But I always felt like that was a missed opportunity. So if it does turn out that she actually could seduce him into doing her will, I'm always down for some ish like that.
Hmm.
That is my jam. That's why I love Sheila and Deacon.
I agree.
Mm-mm-mm.
And I feel like Esme needs an accomplice who is not Ryan. Because remember, she told Ryan she has her own plans.
That's right.
She
But
has
she
her
don't.
own
She
plans.
did say that.
That her own plans means that she has her own accomplice that is working at doing things that we don't even know anything about yet.
Exactly. A backup plan, a backup man. She's got her own ways of working these scenarios that she's not keying Ryan into. And I mean, because my first question is, where the hell did she go after she got thrown off the parapet? Because you know how it is the parapet. You can get thrown off it a couple of times and not die, but if they keep doing it, eventually they're gonna get your ass.
Mm-hmm.
She went underground like vampires do.
No,
She went
that ain't so.
underground. I bet she was somewhere watching these people the whole time because
I
Mm-mm-mm.
think you're right. I
you
mean,
see,
because
she was hanging around the corner listening. Nobody noticed her.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get her out of that damn hoodie.
Mm.
I got to see. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm waiting for that hoodie to come off and reveal that she got a baby bump.
Yep.
That's
If
what I'm waiting on.
Y'all
if
know what? Then y'all can
Mm.
get me watching GH again.
if
If
she,
Esme is pregnant, so you
yep.
know what? They messed up though. They should have had her sleep with Spencer too. I needed a hooter daddy between the Cassadans.
Oh no, this is actually infinitely worse because just as soon as Spencer finally relieves himself of the baggage of Esme at a time where when he finally gets all of that straightened out and gets rid of her, now Trina is not available to him, which is of course them playing with us. For her to come back with a potential baby, with a baby that could be his, would be hilarious. But now that when she come back, they're gonna assume the baby is Nicholas's,
This,
but you never know. Esme could have somebody else.
well, who all knows about Esme and Nicholas had sleep together? Who all knows? Just go
And
assume.
Victor knows. Valentine knows.
Oh my God.
Well, after it happened, and he was running right before Trina's trial concluded, he realized he basically needed to get ahead of this because Esme made it clear, no uncertain terms, that she was about to rat his bitch ass out. So he ran to go tell Ava, and Ava, of course, being Ava, already knew that the only reason you opening your mouth and you telling me is because she was about to snitch your bitch ass out.
Mm-hmm.
And then he had to tell Spencer, and because Victor basically was like he was aggravated when he realized what Nicholas had done because he couldn't believe he had did something so stupid.
Mm-hmm. Well,
Nicholas is dumb as rocks right now.
yeah,
He really
exactly.
is.
He seems like the dumbest Cassadine. I don't like that. You know, when I like families, and I don't like the runts in the family. I won't discard them. I keep the runts, but they really need to stay in their damn lane. And Nicholas is the damn runt. So I don't know how he ended up with Ava. She is out of his league.
He was
She is.
talking about how much they matched up in the beginning, and she was like, "No, it was really more about blackmail." And then he was like, "No, but we fell in love with each other, actually, really." And I'm like, "How though? Because you don't seem like enough a man for her. Like Ava seems like the kind of woman who needs to be with a Victor Cassadine, not the kind of woman that would be with this little boy that trying
Exactly.
to man."
Exactly. And that's what the way I felt about Esme and Spencer. I always felt like Spencer was too young for Esme, and Nick would be a step up for her.
Yeah, but even Nick is beneath Esme at this point. That girl's a diabolical genius. She just
Mm-hmm.
outsmarted a grown ass man.
Mm-mm-mm.
And she led him but she didn't even have to lead him that hard. All she did was have these little conversations with him where she just gently inserted negativity about his relationship with Carly and how she was the victim. She made both of them the victims. That's how she seduced Nicholas. She made both of them the victims and she was sympathetic to both of them at the same time. Oh, I just see us as two lonely people who just want to be loved, and that's all. She was hinting shit like that, and he was looking at her like, yeah. Yeah, I am a lonely person who just wants to be loved as May. You get me. And she
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I'm gonna get you all right, Big Daddy. Give it a minute. And she
Yeah.
worked that man like he was a damn ball of dough, and she was getting ready to make the world's famous pizza.
Sure enough.
And his ass fell right on the kneading pile. And she
Mhm.
kneaded his ass and she worked that dough and she proved that dough. And he fucking developed, okay? He rose to the occasion.
Mhm.
See, and that was the part that was aggravating, was that we knew Esme was what Esme was up to. Okay, we knew what she was up to. It was real obvious, but she didn't even have to try hard though. That was the part that I was absolutely disgusted with. I was like, wait a second, you married? You're married. You got a wife. Yes, y'all have troubles, but you're still married. And this is the chick who is with your son. Now, for you to get from point A of you being a married man, her being involved with y'all son, and y'all having no type of sexual connection whatsoever, to get to point B, y'all going at it bucket naked on in the towel room. That I think that there should be something happening to get you to that point. It's like on Bold and the Beautiful. If Brooke wasn't about to go through hell right now, the hell that we know is coming for her in her marriage with Ridge, there is nothing else that could get her to the point where she would allow something to happen with Leah. Nothing. Nothing.
Mhm.
So, by that same measure, when Nick ended up sleeping with Esme, I was like, bruh, she ain't even had to do nothing hardly. I mean, honestly, it felt like Esme could have came in there in a robe, dropped it on the floor, and it just would have happened any damn way.
Mhm.
Which was damn pitiful to say Nicholas is Spencer daddy.
Mhm.
Raggedy. Positively
Oh.
raggedy.
So y'all been anybody caught up with Days?
I got caught up with days and honey, it was beautiful. Go and give Katie McClain her damn Emmy. That's all I'm saying.
Let me tell you something. Leo Stark is to me the highlight of Days these
Yeah.
days. I have to tell you about Leo Stark's outfit when he was blackmailing Jennifer.
Mm.
That white and blue butterfly suit.
Is
It
that
was
Tom Brown? I don't think that's Tom Brown, but I love that suit.
I absolutely I absolutely love the suit, and it looked like it was tailored for Greg Rickard.
It probably was.
When I tell you that that man was wearing that suit, I'm telling you, he was wearing that suit. I was just like, oh my God, the fashions, honey. When he sat down in Jennifer's house and crossed his legs, and that suit looked just as good on him as he crossed his legs as it did when he stood back up again, I said, wait a minute, that is not off the rack.
Mm-mm.
It could not have been off the rack. He sat down, crossed his legs, and looked fabulous. I mean, from the damn tip to his toes, all the way up to not a single hair was out of place on his head. And he was looking good. And when he stood up and sashayed around, that suit was still hugging him. I was just like, I am done. Leo Stark, Leo Stark, Leo Stark, ladies and gentlemen. Not
They,
only is he fabulous, he's handsome, he's charming, he's hilarious. Did y'all see how he was trying to work Craig today?
yes, honey, talking about I'll buy you a beer and
Mm.
you want to drink with me.
Mhm.
He
Mm.
needs the sugar daddy back because he's struggling.
Mhm.
I can't be poor. I need somebody to take care of me. I can't be poor.
That's
And he
hilarious.
was not ashamed to shoot that shot. He has no shame.
Hey,
Everybody
we don't.
took their shot today because Craig went back over there and was asking Nancy back.
Well,
And
hold on.
Hey
Correct me if
guys,
I'm wrong.
wait a minute. What did I miss? Did we miss Rachel? Sorry about that. My husband was bugging the shit out of me. So I had just needed to do what I needed to do to come back. But did we talk about Rachel? Yeah, Rachel throwing the bread at Chloe.
We ain't got that for you.
No, we
Okay,
just
okay,
started talking about days. You got here just
okay,
in time.
okay.
Um, yes. When Leo, what was the who was he? Who was he had done left Jennifer's house after stalking? Oh yes, he had done run into Craig. Craig went on ahead and told him that he has never had so much fun with anybody as he had with Leo, but he needed somebody in between.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where whether or not Craig is ever gonna find it, but I felt hurt in my heart today, knowing that Nancy was gonna be gone and Craig was gonna be gone. That is a big loss to Salem for me.
It is that they just and that. Here's the thing. I just didn't like it because I cut my teeth on '90s bold, and I felt like if they was going, break up the dynamic duo of Nancy and Craig because they were always they were a couple. They were an example of a couple that schemes together, stays together.
Yes.
They
Yes.
used to be scheming to get the chief of hospital job for Craig and all the other stuff they used to be up to. At the end of the day, it's like they broke them up for nothing.
You
Right.
heard Mike call tell her today you were his Lady Macbeth.
Yep.
Yes.
Craig and Nancy, they was the shit. Craig wanted
Yep.
something. Nancy did whatever it took to make sure that that shit happened. They was OG Bunny and Clyde.
Yep.
Hmm.
And like you said, for nothing, because Craig didn't end up with Leo. I was hoping Craig ended up with Leo, because I wanted, for one, Craig to stay, and but two, because why not? Especially if Nancy was going to go to New York. Clearly, Nancy is going to hook up with Michael.
Well, I thought what they were gonna do, Sam, was because when Nancy asked Craig yesterday when she was like, how about we just why don't we get back together? And I was like, now wait a minute, what they're gonna do? Kind of like have an open marriage thing going? Because she was like, at the end of the day, we best friends. And I thought that's where they were gonna go with it, where they could have gotten back that marriage, but kept it stayed open to see other people because obviously he's gay, right?
So I missed
But
that.
Hmm.
I must have
yeah.
completely missed that Craig asked Nancy back with him. I
No,
missed that. I
Nancy
thought,
asked Craig. Nancy asked Craig. She was like, why, because that's when he came back to let her know that she can still count on him after he heard about what happened between her and Clyde, that
yeah,
Clyde went to jail. And he was, he felt terrible, but I didn't want to see him walk away like that. I was like, I know they just not about to let these two just end it like this. Cause she was like, you and I can get back together. Why not? We know what each other like. We know how to take care of each other. We best friends. You
okay.
can
So she
still
was
have your
looking for
life and I
comfort.
can have my life, you know?
She was looking for comfort. So she was
She
at
was
that
looking
point
for
saying
comfort.
she just want companionship. She's like, it's not even sexual at this point. We know each other. We like each other. We Why not live together? We can still pay the bills together. We just ain't sleeping together. But I didn't like that. I thought it was cute that Nancy had
It
her
made her look kind
hair.
of desperate.
Yeah, but I thought it was cute that she had her hair in that little dyeing set thing, because Nancy is a character, and that's one thing I like about soap operas is that characters sometimes. And to me, Nancy is a character I think I'm gonna always love. And I miss this character already. I have to tell you, I felt emotional today knowing that Nancy was leaving. I'm like, well, what about Bonnie? She losing her bestie too. I'm getting all emotional about Bonnie, and
Yeah,
then
she
Craig.
not gonna go. She's not gonna
Where's
go.
Bonnie?
She's gonna stay and help Chloe.
No, she said she was leaving.
Well, she did say she was leaving, but at the very last scene, like about the last 5 minutes of the show, she made it to Chloe house and she seen Chloe sitting there looking crazy. And Chloe told her what Kristen had done. And she said, well, like I was on my way to New York, but if I need to stay here to protect you against Kristen, I will do that. And that's when Chloe was like, no, mom, I want to see you do better, blah, blah, blah. But she might stay.
She's not staying because Chloe had made some kind of a comment, and Nancy made the comment that she might be busy because I think she was looking at that card that had Michael's phone number on it or something. So Nancy already having plans on seeing Michael in New York. Nancy's going to New York. She already essentially confirmed that she might have plans. That's because she had just ran into Michael. So we losing Craig, we losing Nancy, and we losing them all both to New York. And I'm sorry, Jennifer. We're losing
Mm-hmm.
Jennifer to New York too, because Mike taking her to New York. So those we won't see for. We know we won't see Nancy and Craig for a while. So we won't see Katie for a while either.
Maybe, maybe not. I have a feeling, especially with what Sanchez said about them upping the runtime. I have a feeling that we're gonna get people back faster than we used to. If they really gonna be moving at that kind of a clip on streaming.
Maybe because they showed that promo with um Eli, Eli and the twins. So I would be very interested in seeing Eli and the twins. I have to be honest. I caught up with Days this morning. I didn't realize that I watched today's Days this morning before 8 o'clock.
Yeah, because they dropped them episodes at 6.
Yeah,
I was
I
gonna
see.
say they
No
they
more
be
one,
on
no more
there like
afternoon waiting.
by the time I'm up and start moving around, if I go to the app at 7 o'clock, it's there, Sam. So they have to be there as early as 6 a.m.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I'm gonna come out and come back. Guys, I'm coming out and come back in. Tanner just posted on Instagram. I'll be back.
Okay,
Oh, hold on, let me see.
yeah,
Look,
I'm
and
being
but
we
nosy.
all ran to Instagram. We got 4 minutes left. We all ran to
I
Instagram.
feel like I'm so sorry, Bubbles. I missed like 30, 45 minutes. I'm like, geez, Louise,
Well, you
damn.
can you can re-listen to the show tomorrow in
I'm
podcast form on
I'm probably
Spotify.
gonna just listen to it tonight because I can go on YouTube and hear it tonight, right,
True,
Bubbles?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can go because my husband listens to us sometimes. He enjoys it, Bubbles. You got you a fan over here.
Well, he
Oh, well, that's lovely.
welcome to the show, Mr. Sanchez.
He get on my tail. He get on
Oh,
my
let's
doggone
see.
nerve because he don't start bothering me until I get on here when I'm on, and then when I so he was looking for the podcast. He say, "What is called?" I say, "Just put troubles with bubbles." Troubles with bubbles. Oh, I got to hear this shit now. I'm like, okay. I'm like, it ain't even that serious. We talking about soaps. He troubles with bubbles. Well, it must be trouble. What, babe?
Mental.
Hmm. Oh, Jennifer Garris posted earlier today, reading scripts in my office and can't wait for you to see the juicy storyline Bold and the Beautiful has in store for you. Please tell me what you want to happen next. So looks like they got something for Donna. I wonder if Donna gonna blow up her spot with Eric.
I
Hmm.
want Donna to get some sense and move on. That's what I want.
I mean, well,
So,
Oh, yeah.
we
Did you see Mackenzie Mousie's wedding pictures? Lafitte,
oh, she got married.
yeah, she got
Oh,
married. I guess last week or 2 weeks ago. I meant to ask y'all about it and completely forgot about it, but it just popped up again. And she had a beautiful wedding, a beautiful honeymoon. Um, I can't think of her husband's name, but yeah, they had a beautiful. Her dress was beautiful. Looked like it was a Forester.
Alexa,
is
it
that
was a
Sam?
Forester original.
I said it looked like a Forester original.
Listen, y'all
hopefully
know
better
y'all
than
some
that Forrester
mess.
and Mitchell they gave Summer Summer Abbott. Goodness.
So Thomas is gonna get into an argument with Donna and
Donna.
also Eric about Thomas.
Is that
Or
happening
Eric about
tomorrow, y'all?
look like she gonna get in an argument with Thomas, and then she also gonna get in an argument with Eric about Taylor, Ridge, and Brooke.
Yep, she probably gonna get in Thomas' face about why is Hope spending so much time over here. What are you doing to manipulate her? Not
I'm
like
That's
still
when that
up.
accusation is going to come out that Thomas maybe that you know what, Bubbles, you're right because the way because Hope is spending the night, she's probably going to accuse Thomas of reverting, going back to his old ways.
because we
I'm
know
All
still.
because Hope can't think for herself, apparently. Because
And
Hope
Hope is the
can't
only
think
one
for
thinking for
herself,
herself right
because Hope
now.
can't make any decisions. Everybody got to blame Thomas and ride Thomas, because if Hope does anything outside of their expectation, it's somebody else's fault. That's all I got to say.
Uh-huh. Or she need to be
Always.
institutionalized because she's crazy and she can't think for herself.
I'm telling you that a conservatorship is coming for Hope. If they end up having to go to court for whatever reason, I know Hope ain't gonna support it. But if they keep pushing, the next thing you're gonna see is them putting her in a conservatorship because
Brooke and Liam,
well,
yeah.
she can't be well, and we're concerned about Beth. We're concerned about you taking Beth over there and being around that environment with Thomas. Oh, honey, they fixing to turn it on Hope like she Britney Spears in the early 2000s.
I mean, do they even have sanitariums anymore? Because if they do,
I can
I
get
think
with that.
Yeah,
I
they
think they got one in California with her
They
name on it.
I can, but you know what, Bubbles? I can go with that storyline. Cause I can see Brooke and Liam coming together trying to do some shit like that for to Hope
If
and
they
take
stay
Beth.
there.
And then that's if we had some good writers, y'all, they can at least attempt to do it. And then we can see Stephanie in action. Our girl,
Oh,
Stephanie Forrester.
but if it happens, if they send Hope to a sanitarium, it has to be after she sleeps with Thomas, so she can find out she's pregnant while she locked up.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
We
think
didn't. I'm writing. We writing fanfic at the end of the show. Yes, indeed.
Miss
all
Williams
Mm,
say not a
love that
conservative.
fanfic.
it bees that way sometimes. So
I
we
love it.
of it tomorrow because I'm excited to see how this whole thing with Brim and Thope washes out tomorrow. I don't even care about what's going on in Aspen. The heat for me right now
Yeah,
is
me either.
Los Angeles, and I need to see what's fixing with these people fixing to do with willful hope who just won't listen to nobody. She just won't listen, y'all.
I mean, and I never thought I'd see the day that I'm more interested in what the hell Lope is doing in Brooke than I am in what the hell Taylor and Ridge
Trees
is
is
doing.
doing
That is
trees
some
and
shit.
breeze. Yes.
Well, we
Team
told
Ho, guys. Team Ho. Bubbles, go ahead on and get your stain page started, girl. I'm telling you, I'm going to be there.
it's all right, y'all. Well, we will talk again tomorrow. Thank you, everybody who came out. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you do that. And make sure you follow the podcast for replays as well. Good night,
Good
y'all.
night,
Y'all
everybody.
have a good night. Thanks for coming
Good
out.
night.
Good night.